Congratulations on getting an interview. There are a few things you should do before the actual interview. Things like researching the industry that you're in, researching the company, and researching the person that is interviewing you if you know who that person is. Otherwise, it would be really hard to do. You want to sound as knowledgeable as possible in this interview, or at least pretend to be as knowledgeable as possible so that you get the job. That's actually the main point of the interview in case you weren't sure. Reread your cover letter and familiarize yourself with all the things you claimed you can do. If you don't know how to write a cover letter and you only got this interview by some fluke, then I suggest that you high five or fist bump and just click on it, really, and watch my video on how to write a cover letter. Next, bring a copy of your resume. They usually don't look at it, but it's always good to be prepared. And anything else that you might need, portfolio or whatnot. Business cards if you have them. And also, important, dress the part. If you're a lawyer, dress like a lawyer. That means a suit and tie. If you're more in a casual, artsy kind of industry, then you may be able to wear more artsy, casual clothing, but you should check out what the culture is of the company that you are interviewing at so you can see how they dress and what the protocol is over there. One of the most important ways you can prepare for your interview is to get directions beforehand. Google Maps is awesome with this. You can see how to get there and then you can see what the building looks like. Don't forget to have the floor number handy, the room number, the suite number, whatever it is, and also the name of the person that you're meeting. That would be really terrible if you got there and you had no idea who you were interviewing with. So make sure you have that too. On the day of your interview, make sure you leave time to get there and make sure you leave time to get lost, a few minutes, you know, whatever it may be, because you might get lost and you want to be at the interview early. Now, when you meet your interviewer, eye contact is essential. Do you see how I'm staring into your very soul and kind of makes a connection between us? That's what you want with your interviewer, okay? So eye contact, very important. Smile, because people smile when they see other people smiling, puts them at ease, shows that you're friendly, and it shows off your pearly whites. Just smile, okay? Smile, firm handshake. Firm handshake means that you know your business, okay? There's no dilly-dallying with you. I have no idea what that term means. As for the interview itself, the interviewer is trying to find out if you're a good fit for the company, and you are trying to find out if the company is a good fit for you. So don't let the interviewer bombard you with questions and don't feel bad and like you're in the spotlight, because it's supposed to be a conversation, okay? Don't hog it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying don't feel like the burden is all on you. You're trying to find out as much about the company as the company is trying to find out about you. And it's good because it shows that you're interested. It shows that you actually may consider taking the job. You want to find out all you can, not the salary, that comes last, but everything else. Find out about the company culture and find out how things run and all kinds of questions that are particular to the industry that you're in. Speaking of questions to the interviewer, have some prepared, because there's going to be a time in the interview when the interviewer goes, "Do you have any questions for me?" And you don't want to feel like an idiot and go, no. Even though a lot of times I've said, I did have, but you've answered them. You know, it shows that at least you were thinking. Even if the question is as simple as, "Tell me, how did you get into this industry? I'd be curious to hear your story." That's a great question because it shows you're interested, it shows you're interested in, you know, going up the ladder, and it shows you're interested in the interviewer. People like to talk about themselves, so it's just a great question to ask, regardless of if you have other questions or not really. One of the most important things to be aware of is silence. You may think that you have finished answering a question, but the interviewer doesn't continue. It doesn't ask you a follow-up question, so you're just sitting there, and then a second goes by, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then you start blabbering about something, and that's what they want. So be comfortable in the silence. Don't rush in to fill it up. If it's getting awkward, you can, you know, smile your nice, genuine smile and ask if you can clarify something else, if there was something else that they wanted to know. At the end of the interview, thank them for the interview, and then send a follow-up email that day or the next day, just thanking them again for their time, offering to follow up with anything if they're interested. And that's it. There are a few things you should do before the actual interview. Obviously, you don't have to do it. It's a free country after all, depending on where you are, of course. At the end of the interview, thank them for giving you the time of day or night after the interview, like later that day and or the next day, not and. For some reason, no, it makes perfect sense.